little train mojo coming in, Matt. That reminds
Jacob
me
Dylan?
of the train
Jacob
going
Dylan?
down the tracks.
Oh, I thought you meant Jacob Dylan train.
You know, we're going to talk music here to begin with. We're going to talk music. And that, since you bring up Jacob Dylan, his father, one of the great songwriters of all time, right? The amazing thing about Bob Dylan, though, is as he aged, one of the worst singer-songwriters of all time. I mean, you go to the guy's concert, you can't understand a single word coming out of his mouth. And you could sing the song. The crowd sings the songs better than Bob Dylan does.
Yeah, you know, I saw him a couple times at the old Les Schwab, now the Hayden Holmes Amphitheater, by the way.
What do we call it now?
Hayden Holmes.
Hating on them homes.
Hating on them piece of shit homes. Anyways.
Matt, good morning. It's Market Vitals, the stream. MarketVitals.io is the website. We talk.
I've had 4 coffees this morning because I got some tree guys out here trimming. They said they were going to cut my power. I said, we can't do it. We got vitals coming up. So you got to move that.
Did you meet him in the alley?
I did. I met him in the alley and said, you guys can't be out here today. Let's get out of here. I got the vitals show coming.
Oh, I love it. All right, Matt, this was shared from our friends at Barstools. We say that. We don't know that we're friends. I mean, I'm friendly to anybody. And Listen, I don't drink the haterade. I want everybody to make money. And you cannot say that's not the truth when we've talked about Penn Gaming, Barstools, Davy Boy Portnoy, Noy. Anyway, this was shared by Barstool Sports. Top 10 female singers of all time. And my Uncle Hotep and Hotep Jesus, both huge Adele fans, as both of them talked about the sheer disregard for Adele in this lineup. Man, what are your thoughts?
You know, it looks like a Billboard Top 40 list to me. I would probably, they're all fine singers. I'm sure I could find a song even of Ashley Simpson's that I could bob my head to. That being said, you know, Brandi Carlile, who's, you know, the top of the charts right now the last few years and crossover country pop, and her latest album, you could argue nobody can yodel like she can. So it just depends on what you're looking for.
I agree with you. Yeah, it seems very top 40-ish. And
Nora Jones, like you said, Nora Jones, Elvis Costello's wife. What's her name? You know, anyways.
I don't know that. Josh Stone, though, I saw Josh Stone when we was
Josh
Stone. I saw her 15 at the downstairs at the Elbow Room, Chicago, 15 years old, and she was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so my point here was no Ella,
right? No
Ella
Etta
Fitzgerald,
no Etta James,
no Etta James. Come on, I mean. Yeah. And in pregame, we were talking about, like, let's take all these girls and then try to let them sing a jazz standard.
Yeah, right. I mean, I mean, how do you even have a poll like this unless you say you all sing the same song, and you have to find a song that it's none of theirs, right? That would be an interesting contest. So maybe we should. There's your new TV show for all you Bachelor
voices
producers. Well, no, it's the new voice. It's the new voices, but we bring on the stars and we have you sing, say, a Nirvana song or, you know, a song that you didn't write. And the fans get to decide which one of you 10 on this list actually can make money, and you can all produce it and you can all sell it. That would be cool, actually. You know, you can get our boy Javi to you know, be background producing some of these things and every one of them. And then we let the fans decide which one sells more. It's kind of like Let's Go Brandon is a bestseller over Adele. Are they better singers than Adele? No.
But price discovery matters. Matt, this is at least a decade
lay
ago.
Out their money to buy the song that you produce. That's the show, Bob. There we go.
At least a decade ago, I'm driving in Ireland from, I believe, Waterford to Kinsale. And we got the radio on, and there's a jazz station playing, and Ella Fitzgerald is just belting out this jazz standard, right? We got the radio cranked. It's just, I'll never forget the moment. Just beautiful. Irish countryside. The song ends, and the disc jockey comes on, and he goes, Fitzgerald, Ella Fitzgerald. Can we claim her? And the other, there's like a pause, and the other guy's like, Fitzgerald, claim her? You know she's black, or she's African American. I forget if he was politically correct, but I loved.
What would Joe Biden
love the
say?
Irish sensibility. Her name
Joe
is
Biden would say she was the greatest Negro singer of all time.
Joe Biden of her era. Let's bring Joe on. Anyway, my hat's in on the Ella Fitzgerald bandwagon here, and after I thought about it, I went to Spotify and I got a full Ella Fitzgerald playlist going. You know, she's awesome too because she did so much with Louis Armstrong, and oh my God, talk about standard. Like, I don't know which one of these women could sit there and entertain you in a jazz club. I mean,
well, I mean, personally, I kind of had a little, you know, a love phase with Norah Jones when she first came out. Love her voice. Could listen to it. It's just like butter. It's like
all
butter.
right, Matt. Enough of the female singing. Let's get right into football. And ESPN says Saturday's Michigan-Penn State game on ABC was the most watched college football game of the weekend, attracting nearly 6 million viewers. I wanted to share this with you, Matt, because I think at some point in the selection committee, you know, this matters. This for sure matters. And we're going to tie this in later in the broadcast because ratings matter.
Well, ratings are the price discovery of television, right? And CNN's ratings are down the tube. So, you know, you got to question that. But yeah, Michigan's got the largest living alumni base of any world university, any. So if Michigan does well, it's good for college football, always. And it's been 15 years of hell. So for God's sake, let us have some pleasure. I don't want to be a basketball. I don't want to be a basketball school forever. And we lost last night to Seton Hall, who we beat in the '89 national championship game for basketball. So they finally got their even. They got their comeuppance. Thankfully, it didn't mean anything. It was preseason.
All I'm saying is the selection committee behind closed doors, Cincinnati or Michigan. Well, ratings matter. Sorry, folks from Cincinnati, you're not getting in, even if you go undefeated.
Not if Ohio State or Michigan win, they will not get in. That's absolutely correct. However, I would make an argument. How about this one? I would make an argument that Quack still does not deserve to be there over Cincinnati, and Vegas agrees with me because Utah, a 6-4 team, is favored pretty heavily, 3 or 4 points over the Ducks on Saturday. Go figure. A number 3 team. A number 3 team versus a 6-4 team is the underdog.
Matt, we need 12 teams. That's all there is to it.
12 teams, a simple solution. And you can all fight over the being in the top 4. You can have the same argument still. This is what's great about it. You can still have the angst and we deserve the bye week. We deserve the bye. Great. I just want to be in. I just want to play. If Michigan makes the college tournament as a play-in team, I'm excited about it as a fan, right?
All right, Matt, ratings matter. And apparently the Biden administration is pretty perplexed about the fact that he's polling at near zero. And so they had their whole talking points about their
scratching his chin.
Their concerns for the environment. But apparently ratings are more important than the environment. Because now the Biden administration has done a full 360. Let's turn the other way, boys, and reopen oil and gas leasing in the Gulf of Mexico. Only 80 million acres, though. So if our little...
the problem is they really can't talk about it because it goes against their whole macro view. So they need, this is them attempting to affect inflation and energy. And,
if they gave a shit about it, we wouldn't be in this problem.
Yeah, but
anyway, let's go to the oil chart
let's go to it because, here's the deal. The market knows this already, and the market's known this for some time. We hit 85 back in, late October. We tagged it again here in early November, and now we're making a new low. We're below $78 here, which is a new low, Bob. And as you can see, this is you've been bullish. I've been bearish, and I maintain my bearish stance in crude. I just don't see how we can't trade back to like $70, even if we're going to go to 100, which is your number.
That's Vladimir Putin's number.
Oh, right, Putin's number. But you're on.
I just put my shekels in his court.
You're on Team Putin, right? Okay.
I'm on Team Putin, exactly.
Okay. Again, I'll go with the team price chart, and this is a broken chart. I mean, it's really broken. And if you even want to look at XLE for the broader ETF in the sector, you'll see the same type of behavior showing. And when this thing gets below, say, $56, night, it's going down.
Especially the thing that jumps out at me at that chart is the length of time there that they've spent sideways.
Well, and again, here's your two highs right here, right? That's your 85s in oil there that you see on top. And then, we're back on the low here. So we're critical to the discussion when it comes to XLE. Oil is not so much. And the reason why XLE isn't because it's got a lot of natural gas in it too. And natural gas today is, not as ugly as it had already been beaten up. So it's still hanging up here pretty good. So, I would say that the argument's not over. Has not been decided. We haven't broken down here on the XLE, but oil to me looks pretty broken on its own, right? Just standing on its own. Crude versus XLE. And then natural gas, again, down today, back down to 494. But again, I like it as it gets down here. You want to give me 450, 475, I'll buy it again. I'll buy it. There's these holes down in here, but winter is still coming. And it's greatly on sale. I mean, we got
it's been freezing here too, by the way.
And it's 20 degrees this morning when I went out and got my fourth coffee. Speaking of coffee, we haven't talked about this a lot, but coffee's up another $10 or so today. And 4 or 5% today. Look at this thing, Bob. We talked about when this thing first took off, you want to buy these dips, and from 185, it's gone up here to 235. Please take profits. Don't be greedy. These things cycle. It could go a lot higher, but take a quarter off until you're done.
Exactly. We'd say that all the time. Hope it's the dumbest thing you ever did, because
this thing is through the roof now, and we've mentioned it. The buying it down here at 185. Please take it off. You got a 30% gain in less than 2 months. That's a monster move, Bob.
All right. I'm going to give Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians a hard no in the top 10.
No, she doesn't even jump into the top 100 for me. But Paul Simon likes her. Paul Simon married her. So
the New Bohemians. No.
Paul Simon wouldn't show up on my top 10 male voices either. But, she writes fun songs. They're fun. Pop
is king.
I would put, who I would put in is, what's her name? Susanna Hoffs.
Wait a second. Never heard the name. See, I love this about conversations around music.
Well, you've heard of the Bangles.
Oh, yeah. That's her.
And she makes it into that top 10 because she's pop and she's got a fun. I mean, she dances. She looks great. Put Paul Abdul. You could put Paul Abdul in there too. They're fun. I mean, they all are kind of in the same,
The Star Spangled Bangles.
Yeah. How about Paula Abdul being close to 70, dude?
That's crazy. All right, Matt, speaking of the Star Spangled Bangles, American Airlines out with their new flagship, the Let's Go Brandon DC 10 and a half.
I saw the guy that's selling the Let's Go Brandon paper like in his factory with the shit just rolling off. He's like, keep the orders coming in, man. We got more production available.
My favorite part of the whole thing was the outrage.
There's going to be some brawls around
the outrage over this, the disrespect. Oh my God. I mean, these people wouldn't last 38 seconds on the trading floor.
I'll tell you, I watched 10 minutes or so of Saturday Night Live and I'm like, wow, these guys aren't like, the writing's horrible. It's not even
terrible.
Funny. It's not even
beyond brutal.
Like they could be going to town with this. It's not even hard. You just put it out there and you don't even need a laugh track. I mean, the laugh track is watching Joe Biden walk across that New Hampshire bridge this morning. And there's like, his mom is there. No!
Did you see the signing of the bill, and it looked like it was CGI'd, and the
and where
thing
he
was
lost
blurred out.
he had to go back for his mask, and they were all like glitchy. It was like, what's going on?
All right, Matt, we wanted to talk about some airlines because of how we travel.
You want to talk airlines? I don't want to talk.
Yeah, let's talk airlines. Just because there's shutdowns again.
Well, here's what's going on. You can't go to Austria now. You can't go to Czech. They're all locking you. You can't go to Australia for Christmas, even though it's summer there. So they've killed that world. You can't go to New Zealand, and now you can't go to Ireland. And I hope they reopen for St. Paddy's Day.
No, they're fully.
Otherwise, they're going to
still left side.
They're going to put Guinness out of business. What's going on there, Bob?
I don't know, but it's left-sided politics there. Fully left side of the parabola.
I want to talk more importantly. I want to talk with you about electric cars today.
All right, you want to just skip the airlines because we could do that.
I don't care about airlines. They're
fine. Again, how about that segue? See, the producer's over there waving. He's like, no, man, no. You have to talk airlines.
No.
And I'm like, hold on a second. Let me really.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to talk about.
Well, let's preface it though, too, please, because there's these electric car companies that are through the roof on valuations.
Well, we all know Tesla. Let's start with the obvious, right? We all know Tesla, is $1 trillion company. It's back above $1 trillion today, up $32 or 33% today. It got up to $11.19, so it's already pulled back $30. Half of the move is gone, and that's because the Nasdaq now is selling off. But what I find give me a good adjective of what I'm feeling, because you know what I'm feeling.
The adjective you're feeling is, first of all, it's like somebody is slapping you in the face, and you feel like I'm smarter than this, but it doesn't make any sense to me.
Listen, I grew up in Detroit, so I got a bias. My family all worked in the auto biz, whether it was GM, Ford, Chrysler, etc. They all, or the suppliers. It's very deep rooted in my blood. I'm all for electric cars. I have owned electric cars, so it's not about gas versus electric. Right? I'm all for it. The infrastructure doesn't exist for all of us to own an electric car. We've discussed that ad nauseum here. That being said, I want to throw out these two companies that just, the last couple months have gone bananas, and they were bananas before they went bananas. So Lucid Group is the name of one of these, who makes nothing, sells nothing, has zero sales, zero revenues, zero anything, right? This company just hit a new high today of $62.04 pre-market. They blew their lid. I'm going to say it here. Tesla blew its lid, will not see 1250 again. Now these names have peaked. They've peaked. It's happening today. You're watching it happen in real time until they make a new high. Then I'm wrong. However, the reason I say that, Bob, is Ford is worth $84 million. And guess what Lucid is worth today? And you've never heard of this company. Most of our viewers have never heard of Lucid Group, a consumer durables motor vehicles company. This company is worth $84 billion today after losing 20% of its value since the open this morning. We'll start there. So go dig into Lucid a little bit. And then, of course, everybody's latest flavor of the day in the electric world is Rivian. And I can't even do the symbol right because it's only been trading 5 or 6 days. But in those 5 or 6 days, it went from 100 to 180 this morning, and now is at 144.80. However, still providing you a 150% valuation of Ford, and 135% valuation of General Motors, and about 130% valuation over Volkswagen, Audi, etc. So there you go, folks. You want some real fundamental work for you? I don't get this world. I don't even understand how people can buy this shit except for momentum. And it's boggling to me. So right here, right now, Rivian, again, they don't sell anything. They have zero sales. Trade futures, people.
That was great that was great silence. Like you can't teach that in acting class. The angst of what the fuck is going on here.
I mean, it makes no sense. And here's another one. Here's another smaller one called I don't even know the name of it. I just learned the symbol yesterday. It's called Canoe. Okay. Canoe. It's electric canoes. Now they're making cars. I guess. I don't know. It's called Canoe. But
what's the market cap for Canoe come out and play?
But the symbol is GOEV. Everything's confusing.
Go Evo, right? Electric vehicle. Go electric
Go
vehicle.
EV. There you go. Go EV. There we go. See, I'm slow to the uptake, but the company's called Canoe. Why don't you change your name from a wood boat to a Native American wood boat to an electric vehicle? Call yourself Go EV, not Canoe. Come on. Anyways, this thing traded all the way up to 1350 today. It has a valuation of 2.45 billion, and I assure you, it has zero in sales because it's a piece of shit. We've never heard of it. So there you go. I'm done.
But Matt, so some great opportunities to sell short.
Great opportunity
on these ridiculous valuations,
but not for the uninitiated. You better know.
No, absolutely not.
Better know what you're
doing.
All right,
Matt, I wanted to bring up CME Group. I saw this in an email I believe I got from them, patting themselves on the back, and man, should they, because nickel slots now paying giant. I never knew that nickel slots was one of the biggest revenue producers in Vegas, but it is. And now nickel futures, micro E-minis, your du jour, 1 billion contracts traded. I mean,
well, you want to know, here's another example. You want to know what one of the greatest moves McDonald's ever made was offering $1 any size sodas.
Yeah, because any size is still 1 cent.
For them. You want an extra 500 calories? I don't care. Here you go. It's sugar water.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Matt, also on the docket here, as far as the CME micro ether futures coming first week of December, I believe. We got micro Bitcoin. We haven't talked about Bitcoin since the second sell-off here. Let's bring it up because again, my gut feeling on Bitcoin is that it might just have a $10,000 range, call it 58 to 68 for 3 months now, 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah,
that's my early gut feeling.
Yeah,
but
I
don't know.
It
seems like it can't get legs either side of that.
It's right here. If it gets below 58 again, I say all bets are off and it's going to 47, 48, but it's got to break that.
Again, because they came right down to it.
If you're not short from 68, now is not the time to get short, but breaks 58, have a sell stop at 57.7, something like that. Boom, done.
I agree. And this chart again looks
because that will be, it did it back here in late October and it's doing it here. It's held both times and we're trading 60,000 again. So it's up $67. Up $67 today.
All right, let's go Ether. Let's go Ether because we're going to bring in the micros, and we've said it all along, man. Much better to trade this space in the fiat world via futures, as far as I'm concerned. Us old dogs, anyways. Easier tax wise. It's clean and simple to get exposure to this asset class through the futures.
Let's talk about the Ether Bitcoin pair spread, actually. Because you like to talk about this. So I haven't, what would you do with this chart?
This chart is flip a coin. You can own either one of them.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay. So then I'm
not strongly biased one way or the other. So if you're going to be in the space right here, it doesn't matter.
Here's the thing I noticed yesterday, that this move to here and this move to here are mirrored. So I made the call yesterday in the room that this has done any rally that if you're not already short Ether, you should have been short, knowing that this second leg was equal here. So that basically, if you had a short in at 48.50, you're already short and you're already up, 15, 20%, which is a monster move. Now, any type of rally, if you're not involved, so 4,400 or so, sell it again. But this thing looks fully rolled over to me. It's at least going to go, to me, it looks like 3,400, possibly down to 23, just like Bitcoin. Now,
I think the date is December 7th, Matt. I'm not sure.
Pearl
Harbor Day, yes.
All right, so maybe by 12/7 it'll be back up there. I don't know, but right now it's.
Well, I'm just saying that every other time that there's been better ability to short a market, for more people, and that means futures contracts. These things have sold off.
Well, even this leg went from 4,000 to 2,600, which is significant. $1,400 is like 35%. So if you did a 35% move from about $5,000, you're looking at another 1,700. So that takes you down to what, 30, 31 or so, which is down in this hole. That would be a good area, and that would still be bullish. So the thing I like about crypto is it tends to trade very technically versus the algos that are crazy out there now, and stocks that just go whoosh, like it never comes back at all. Like the markets in the late 90s when we had the first tech bubble, they traded honestly. These do not. Nowadays stocks, just like I said, we have valuations that don't matter to anybody, and everything is just algo to blow up and go higher and higher with there's nobody left shorting, I guess is what it is. And if you are running a short fund like a Jim Simons or some of these guys, it's got to be hard out there. But I would say that you're starting to see finally if you got the pockets, and they don't all fall at once, right? They don't all fall at once, but we like to kid about Roku and how that has been halved. From 500, it's now trading down to 244 as we speak, down another 12%. And you can see, we talked about this, when it broke here on those earnings last week in the rally, the rally before the earnings was a great time to sell. And it was just into the meat of this, right? And it's rolled even from that level, 350 all the way back down here to 244. Bob, this thing is still valued at $32 billion for a stick you plug into your TV. Give me a break.
It's got to do more than that. I don't know what it is.
Plus you're competing with the distribution of Amazon and Netflix. Good luck. I mean, you're not. Nobody's. I don't think Roku has production theaters, but I may be wrong. I don't think they do.
I don't know either.
Sponsored by Roku.
I'll be honest. I do not know that.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
I just trade the price, so I really don't care either. But and then the other one that I think is kind of interesting today, and by all means, if you are long this Roblex, and it's shot through the moon. And this has only been trading since March, but this thing was hammered into the earnings. It went down to $70. If you were lucky enough to buy this again, it looks, you've sure had a nice move from 70 to 130 already. And less than about 2 weeks. So good on you. But I don't understand this whole business model. This company is valued at 71 billion. Makes no sense, but price is bullish. This thing is bullish. New territory.
Let me ask you a question, because I think it's something that's important, that if and when the Fed actually does start tapering and start easing their accommodative stance. We talked all the time about before, over the last year and a half, of the 10x moves that we've seen.
10, yep.
Right, 10xers. And maybe as that landscape of free money and starts to evaporate, you have to start changing your opinion of what you can get out of something on a runner.
Right.
So maybe 2x, 3x, 4x becomes more the norm, because it seemed to us, right, that 10x was the natural progression of the left side.
That was the algo, right? That was the algo. It's just, you see it over and over again. So maybe that means Roblex is going to go to 700 and it'll be worth, 700 billion. It'll be the next Tesla, I guess.
Right.
I mean, but that's what we're saying. I mean, the valuations are starting so high when these things come to market already, that you have to really, you do have to pay attention, although fundamentals really never matter until they matter. At some point they matter, right? So
the fundamentals that matter the most is your account balance.
If you're playing musical chairs, which is the momentum game, I call it musical chairs. A lot of people are really good at it, but you got to know when the momentum's there and when it leaves. There's still some momentum left, and we're seeing it in electric cars and all the ancillary businesses around batteries, right? Again and again and again, it hasn't stopped. So as long as you have that kind of those headwinds at your back, that's pushing you up higher. That's what's
tailwinds. We call those, Matt.
Tailwinds. I'm calling them headwinds behind you. So you can call them tailwinds. I couldn't come up with a word. What can I say?
That's what we're here for. Don't worry. I'll edit my thing right in there. And in post, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Anything else?
You know, Bob, we got we got a meteor the size of the
got...
Eiffel Tower firing at us. I guess right now it's supposed to hit tomorrow, like 2 a.m. in the morning. So
what is that?
There's like a or Friday at 2 in the morning. There's like a meteor flying at us the size of the Eiffel Tower. So asteroid, excuse me. So that's coming up. Other than that, have another coffee. Coffee's through the roof, but there's no inflation. It's transitory.
All right, let me share. I think I can share. I think I can. I'll do it. I'm going to do it.
Please do.
Lululemon, Matt.
We got to put it in. Yeah, well, we got the holidays. Hard to fade that sucker. And they got the earnings coming up also.
When is the earnings?
You got it there. Click on that little button down below. You can see it.
8th of December.
There you go.
Day past Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah, I would wait until the earnings come on that one. This is how the market is. It's going up right now. It's through the roof. Plus, I'm a fan of their products. I don't wear them. I'm a fan of them.
You don't wear them that we know.
Nah, I wouldn't look good in them.
Yeah, you might prance around.
No, I don't.
Dancer and Donner and Blitzen.
I don't like constricting clothes. I like
Davio.
I like puffy coats. And
well, here's the weekly, Matt. And as long as we hold this momentum level on the weekly, which is 451, no reason to get out of it. Let them, and we do quick counts all the time, Matt. So this congestion here was basically 383, 436. You do the math. 17, 40, 53 points.
Yeah.
So that gives us at least to 89, 90, 490.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, yeah. I mean, we're right there too. It's hit high was 485.87. It's a new high. It's pure momentum.
The other thing I will say too is if on earnings you blast off, you got to respect the collar in this setup, right? And so that's 503. And next week it'll probably be a little bit higher. You got a couple of weeks till those earnings, but pay attention on a blow off.
Again, let's talk about the revenues of this company. They do about a 1.4 billion a quarter is what they're estimating. So times 4, that's 5.6. And the valuation is 10x still. I mean, you're talking retail. 10x on retail is insane. Sales, sales to market cap to sales, 10x. Oh, I mean, that's like you're lucky if you can get one.
And the thought process.
But there's a ton of margin when it comes to selling Lycra, right? I mean, it's probably
cards, Matt.
But here's what I want to say: all the Karens and the Marys of the world who are complaining about oil, then stop fucking wearing Lululemon. It's all oil.
And then if it's not,
where is Greta hammering Lululemon? It's all oil-based products, my dear. Where are you? Oh, you're wearing them, and they give you free Lululemon, so you won't go out against Lululemon. But they use just as much BP products as BP.
The age of irony, alive and well.
Of ambiguity.
Hey, Matt, I've watched the movie Red Notice last night. It's The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. Red Notice.
Good.
And I got to tell you, the writing is, especially Ryan Reynolds, who's I'm this guy. Like, there isn't a smart ass comment that doesn't come through his head that he doesn't just talk out loud. And it is fantastic. It's a little hokey on, it's an action movie. And of course, it's hokier than can be on the action side of things. But please watch it. Ryan Reynolds' smart ass comments throughout the whole thing are absolutely priceless. And again, we talk about all the time, like Saturday Night Live is brutal. There's nothing funny about it. I haven't,
I tape it on Hulu and I try. I can't even watch. Like, it's so heavy narrative that I can't even. I'm like, wow, this is just. It's not even funny. They're trying to, again, it's more about Trump than it is about anything that's going on in the world. I'm like, why are we still talking about him? He's been gone for over a year. Who cares? Move on. All right, please join us at marketvitals.io. Hey, Bob, who was the show brought to us by today?
The show brought to us by CME Group, CME Active Trader. Not really, but we'd be open to it. Not only that, we're open to anybody.
So then it was brought to us by Pfizer, you fool.
The jab. Wait, oh, that's the other. Did I save that? Did you see the amount of revenue they're predicting for Pfizer Mectin?
I sent it to you. That's why I thought you'd bring it up. I'm the producer. I give you the content.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, clear the room. There's going to be an ass kicking. Clear the room. Hold on a second. I think I got it in here because it's. Hold on a second. Yes, no. No, that's not it.
Shh. By the way, Crocs is moving down.
Oh, yeah, this is it. This is it. Look at it. Just like that. Barclays estimates Pfizer could draw $15 to $25 billion, 22 sales for COVID antiviral drug, Pfizer Mectin.
Here's the
Pfizer Mectin.
Here's the pricing is what's boggling.
$300 to $500 a course. 90% of doses are distributed. And that's in addition to the $29 billion for booster jabs. So let me ask you a question. Do you get a discount if you do the booster and the antiviral?
2 for 1.
Get a 2 for 1?
Can you take your friend?
Can you take your friend? I don't know. It's a great business model when the government is in your hip pocket.
Here's the thing. Whatever this shit is that people are taking, it doesn't cost more than like 50. It's like the same as Coca-Cola. So they can drop their prices to $1 and still be killing it.
Of course they can, but the government's going to pay them some part of that $300 to $500 a regiment.
Okay, but now that you brought up this subject, I got to talk about this just a little bit because Pfizer at current market prices of $50.33 a share, which it did make a new high again this morning of $50.82, but not quite back to that $51.89. Pfizer is worth $282 billion. So let's just talk about the sales that are going to happen. What was that number again on the last? This is like next year.
They're expecting 55 billion. Let's call it 50 billion.
We'll call it 50 billion just in those two product lines, right? We're not talking anything else that they make and you already are buying and consuming. So this company, just in next year's sales, is 5x just that piece of the business. And I'm talking about, car companies that don't even exist. They don't even have a product for you to buy that are worth half as much as this company.
Again, no words necessary.
Like what? Why isn't Pfizer under the same math worth $5,000 a share? It should be. Fucking come on, Wall Street boys, dig in there. It's all about float. We understand how it works. Those other new names are fake. Don't fall in love with them. They're fucking not real. Gosh, warning, Will Robinson. Dr. Smith. Boom. It's not like 1999. It's nothing. It's like this market is its whole different world. It's nothing like 1999. I love 1999 trading because the market went up and down. Yahoo would go up 100, down 50, up 150, down 75. This market doesn't do that. It just goes up. It never pulls back. Literally, it never pulls back.
Well, until you get to the right side.
Well, until it does.
And it takes a while to establish that.
But if you're even thinking about short selling, you have to wait for that right side to happen. Like
yes, you do.
You cannot. You will not stay solvent, and I don't care how big your fund is. You literally need to wait for that right side to show itself, and you're not going to sell the high, which is the way to short sell anyways. Wait for it to break, people. Wait for it to break. Wait for the momentum to go your way. Then it's easy. Then it moves quickly. The entire move that may have taken 2 years to happen plays out in like 3 months, as you're seeing in Roku. It takes no time at all. So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to pick the top. That's a fool's game, and I want to say that Wait. There's plenty of time. And then at that time, buy in the money. Buy in the money puts. It's a cheap way to do it, but it's going to go down, right? What goes up comes down. And if you buy those puts at the high price, I mean, you could say, when Roku went to 350, you could say, I'm going to buy the 400s again. Okay. Do it.
Do it. All right. Thank you, Meg Terrell, I guess, that shared this. Thanks to all the people in the Twitter sphere that I grab content from repeatedly. If I forget to say thank you, I am grateful that you share content that I can poach for this show. Matt, you have a great day. Please share, retweet the content. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hasta la vista.
Go Blue. See you.